Today I want to talk about a franchise that is very important to me. Halo has been a big part of my life ever since I was a little kid. It was actually the first game that I ever really got to play by myself. I know that sounds weird, I'm really dating myself, but Halo 1 on the Xbox was the first game that I ever actually held a controller and played on my own without any assistance. Back in the day, my dad would just let me pretend to play games with him, or he'd play a co-op game with me and show me how things are done. But with Halo, that was the first time I ever really got to play a game. Just me, a controller, a TV, and really get to enjoy the story and the gameplay and everything. I was definitely really young, way too young to know what I was doing, but it was a special moment for me, and Halo's been a very important part of my life ever since. Which is why it pains me so much to see the franchise in the state that it's currently in. Halo 5 is a fun game and has a lot of really good qualities to it. Its Forge mode is fantastic, and all the custom games and cool things that people can make with Halo 5 is definitely a testament to just the quality, the community aspect of the Halo fan base and Halo in itself as a game. But Halo 5 and 4 and some of the newer games as well definitely have their flaws, and the games itself are not being seen as highly as the other games in the series have been. The original Halo trilogy 1, 2, and 3 are widely seen as one of the best trilogies in gaming history, and with good reason. They're fantastic monuments, just wonderful games that really stand the test of time, both in design, story, gameplay, and pretty much any aspect you can imagine. And nowhere is that more apparent than in the recent patch to the Master Chief Collection, which brought back a lot more players, really kind of ironed out a lot of the bugs and issues that the Master Chief Collection has had since launch. And hey, it's not perfect, but it's definitely a step in the right direction, and it's got me going back and playing Halo again, which is great. I'm excited to be playing Halo again. It's really made me think, though. I mean, with Halo in the state that it is, how did we get here, and what would have been a better direction to take the franchise than the direction that 343 decided to go with it? And that's where I got to thinking, and this is definitely something I've thought of a few times before, but never really found the right words, or really never really found the right time to talk about it. But with the Master Chief Collection getting updated, with it now being in 4K and HDR, and a lot of the bugs being fixed, I thought, hey, this is a good time to talk about this. We just had Halo 6 announced at E3, and it seems to be taking a lot of cues from the older games, so I think this is relevant because we can really learn a lot about where Halo should go from here and what it could have been in future titles. We can learn a lot from Halo 2 Anniversary. Now, I know what you're thinking. That seems like a very arbitrary thing to say. Halo 2 Anniversary, the multiplayer only, 7-map thing that was included with the Master Chief Collection that everyone forgot about 2 months after launch? Yeah, that is the closest that we've gotten since 343's takeover of the series to a classic feeling modern Halo game. And I know that Halo 2 Anniversary is technically a remake of Halo 2, but with the multiplayer they did something a little different. They gave it a new engine, they gave it all new sound effects and visuals. They kind of just redid and overhauled everything and kind of made it its own game. It even has its own unique sandbox. The balancing is different, the movement's different, the physics are different. Has new guns, returning guns, like the assault rifle and other things are back in the game. They have new vehicles, completely separate Forge mode, and its own custom games, and all kinds of stuff. It is, like I said, the closest that we've gotten since 343's takeover to a classic feeling modern Halo game. And when we look at everything that Halo 2 Anniversary gave us, really makes me think, why didn't we get this for Halo 4 or 5? And makes me hopeful that we might see some of this stuff in Halo 6 or Halo Infinite. So I wanted to kind of dissect Halo 2 Anniversary, see what it did right, and what future Halo games can learn from this weird spin-off thing. So Halo 2 Anniversary multiplayer, being technically a remake of Halo 2, does only feature Halo 2 maps, just redone obviously in the new art style with the new graphics and everything, and it looks really nice. So we never really got to see any unique maps into this, within this game itself, but the maps that are there were good, and they work well enough for us to continue making this point. So what Halo future titles can learn from Halo 2 Anniversary as far as map design wise goes is, just straight up copying Halo 2 and 3 map design. It's not hard. Halo 2 and 3 have the best maps in the franchise for a very good reason. I could sit here all day and explain to you why. It has a lot to do with Sprint and the way that Sprint changes the way maps are designed, and you can't have it with the same flow and everything because characters are moving faster, so you have to extend the maps, yada yada yada. I don't want to sit here all day talking about that, but Halo 2 and 3's map design is phenomenal and has some of the most iconic maps in gaming history, so I think future Halo titles should definitely go back to Halo 2 and 3 map design, taking a heavy cue from Halo 2 Anniversary and just taking some old maps, definitely giving them a visual enhancement, but then also making new maps in the same vein or the same style as those older ones. I definitely think Halo 6 should have plenty of classic maps, not just, the one or two like 343 did with Halo 5. Definitely plenty of classic maps, while also having its own original maps that do follow in the same vein as Halo 2 and 3. Visuals are important too, as we've definitely talked about briefly in the past, but the Halo art style is such an iconic thing that has been forgotten, I guess, over the last 8 years. Halo 3 and 2 definitely had a very definitive art style that Halo Reach expanded upon by adding a bit of grit and realism and more militaristic style to that iconic visual style, which is great. Halo Reach definitely looks really good, but Halo 4 took things a bit different. You could come at it from a story perspective and say it makes no sense that Master Chief somehow got a new suit while in cryosleep for some reason, but I'm going to take it more from just a visual standpoint. The new armor looks like ass. The new visual style, everything that's not terrain in Halo 4 looks like garbage, and it really sucks. It's even worse in Halo 5. Everything looks like plastic or clay in Halo 5, and the terrain for some reason was super downgraded. It looks like early 360 with the terrain and the actual effects and stuff. Halo 5 it's a mess in the visual department, but Halo 6 and future titles can take inspiration from Halo 2 Anniversary. Halo 2 Anniversary is by far the best looking Halo game ever made because it takes the visual style of Halo 2 and by extension 3 and just slightly modernizes it and improves it and makes it just look prettier. We don't need to drastically change visual styles. 343, we get it. You're in charge now, but what you're doing sucks. Please stop. Just stop. We've already got a glimpse at the Halo 6 art style with that new E3 trailer, and while we didn't really see any gameplay, we just saw, concept stuff. It does look promising. If the terrain and everything quality is to be believed from that trailer, definitely looking like a fantastic game. Even if we do see downgrades, I'm sure it's still going to look pretty nice. And thankfully, we did get a look at the classic Halo 2 3 era Mark 6 helmet for Master Chief, so it does seem like they're hinting at going back to an old style, classic style look, and not with the clay tin soldiers we had running around in Halo 5. The lighting as well is another thing I should mention, because Halo 2 Anniversary does have proper lighting on all of its features, all its soldiers, all of its everything. Halo 5, for some reason, does not have player lighting. There is no lighting that affects you as a player, so you're always bright and shiny, even in pitch black. Halo 2 has actual lighting, Halo 2 Anniversary has actual lighting, which does definitely help. It also helps that the animation does not run in 30 frames per second when you get more than 5 feet away from a person. Always super jarring to play Halo 5 and seeing people run at 30 or even 15, depending on how far away you are. frames per second instead of 60. Really weird. I know that they did that because the Xbox One was not that strong at the time that they made the game, but it still is super weird. And Halo 2 Anniversary still manages to run in 4K 60 FPS HDR while retaining its full frames of motion and all this stuff. Just make your game look like Halo 2 Anniversary and I'll stop talking. So now we get to gameplay. Halo, classic Halo, Halo 2, Halo 3 have a very defined gameplay style that we've not seen yet. Even Halo Reach shook it up to the point where it was hardly even recognizable, but Halo Reach definitely did the right thing, taking the classic gameplay style, modernizing it in a few areas, not getting too crazy with it, still keeping the same overall feel. Halo 4 and 5, however, feel like they're not even Halo games. They could just be any sci-fi shooter and just, stick the Halo name on it, and that's all they did. But Halo 2 Anniversary feels like a true extension of the Halo 2, Halo 3 formula. They added a few guns to the sandbox, they made some balancing changes to the weapons that are returning, and they, added in just a couple new features, couple, tweaks, couple tweaks to like the engine and stuff like that to make things register a bit better, and, give us hit markers and a few other sound cues just to make things flow a bit better. And that's all it really needed to stand above, the classic experience, and Halo 2 Anniversary is a better game because of it. I'm not saying it's better than Halo 2, I'm just saying it's better than Halo 4 and Halo 5, that's for damn sure. You don't need to change that much. I know that people will complain regardless of what you do, but the actual fans of the series don't want your crazy jetpack advanced warfare bullcrap that you've been doing in Halo 5. We just want a classic Halo experience, and to bring that forward into the newer generations of consoles, and maybe, some extra features, new guns, things like that. If you're taking away features, you're doing it wrong. Bring back dual wielding, bring back, bring back playable elites, which Halo 2 Anniversary has. Just bring back the stuff we want, take out the stuff we don't want, and it's kind of easy, kind of a easy decision to make. I know that lore-wise and story-wise, the gameplay aspects of having thrust jumps and boosters and all that stuff is gonna be hard to explain not having anymore, but I think we'd rather have a weird, weak explanation for why we don't have that stuff anymore than continue to have that stuff because it sucks. So yeah, just give us a classic Halo experience straight out of Halo 2 and Halo 3. Add a bit more features, content to it, and that's really all anyone's been wanting for the past 10 years now. 343, 10 years. Just 10 years of mediocrity. God, how we've fallen. Anyways, I don't want to rant too much on this. I just thought this would be an interesting thing to talk about because Halo 2 Anniversary is definitely something that people kind of stopped talking about after it came out. And I think it's important to look at that game as a catalyst, or not even a catalyst, but as an example to, where we can take this in the future. Because Halo 2 Anniversary did a lot right that it does not get a lot of credit for. As far as I see it, Halo 2 Anniversary is the true classic Halo successor, if you will. And I definitely hope that Halo 6 takes its cues from Halo 2 Anniversary as far as taking that classic experience and bringing it into the modern day. But that's been all from me. I want to hear what you guys think down below. Feel free to comment if you'd like and subscribe if you haven't already. Yada yada yada, you've heard all that stuff a million times before, so I'll probably stop saying it. Anyways, you guys have a good day, and I'll see you in the next one. Stay classy, guys.